As we're coming out of the preseason, it appears there's a new Chinese boosting strat in town that is Mord bot lane with Smite. Now I first saw this in high elo Korean games. There's a guy called Do Yu Hyu Yan, this is his profile here, and I'm going to be showing you how he got an 88% win rate. Look at this, 88% win rate, 73 wins, 10 losses. He's Diamond 2 right now with Masters MMR. He's been playing this into pro players. Now take note, this is a duo strategy. You're gonna need a duo partner. His duo plays Leona. You can probably do it with something like an Alistar or like an all-in tanky support as well. But I'm just gonna be showing you guys how broken this strat is. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I've been watching a couple of replays of these guys, and they're just pummeling through all of these like master tier Korean bot lanes. And the strategy is very strange. And without further ado, let's get into it and break it down.
Hey guys, before we get into today's video, I just wanted to say I'm doing a $500 giveaway in January. The link is in the description below. Peace.
Before we break down the gameplay and the strategy, I want to take a quick look at his runes. He likes to go for that Summon Airy, Nimbus Cloak, Absolute Focus. Also likes to go for the Water Walking. It makes a lot of sense when you're playing Smite Mord bot because a lot of your focus is around the dragon. You're going to be getting into that river and wanting some extra speed. Secondary likes to go for the Triumph and Tenacity. This is mainly because he likes to go for the Sork Shoes, so he wants a little bit of CC reduction from the Tenacity. Sork Shoes, Oblivion Orb is his rush. This is to get the flat 33 Magic Pen, making you do true damage in the early stages of the game. And then you want to be starting with your W. And as you can see here, let's look how they clear on the Wolf Camp on the red side. He puts the W on the Leona, and they just slowly clear this out, guys. This is going to ensure that Mordekaiser hits level 2 before they even start the laning phase. And then when you switch across to the blue side, guys, they're going to be starting with the chickens. You can see here, as the Alistar rotates in, this is actually Sword Art, one of the world's best supports. They look to stop it. Obviously, if the enemy sees you having Smite, they're going to be like, okay, something fishy is going on. And if they're good players, like these are like Master Challenger tier players, obviously probably better than the games you're going to be in, they might try and stop it. So as we approach the laning phase now, you're going to see sometimes you're going to miss a CS or two. It's really no big deal. The Mordekaiser is already level 2, and you want to really flex this level advantage. You can see Leona, boom, ease in, starts getting really aggressive. Mord pops the W, also gets that E right then off of Caitlyn. Caitlyn's already down a hill after a really strong early game in that laning phase. So if you and your duo can't really net yourself a kill in those first 2 or 3 levels, you want to get that hard shove, move into the river, and start looking to take jungle camps, okay? If you guys really can't pick up kills, which you can, definitely, you want to work with your jungler. You see here the Skarner's looking for the invade on the red. They move into the chickens. It's a classic clear. It's super easy to clear these camps. Mord takes the camp, and then they're going to rotate straight back into their lane. You can see here the water walking coming in beautifully for the Mord to get from camp to camp, like I was saying. A lot of the times with the Mordekaiser, because the way Mordekaiser works with his W, okay? So say a lane, there's 2 people. You're sharing the XP 50-50. Mord's actually getting 80% experience. He has a mechanism with his W where, like, if you're in a duo lane, you're actually getting more experience than your opponent if you're both sharing. And this is just going to put you further and further ahead when it comes to experience because you're also taking jungle camps. You'll see, like, in a lot of these games, Mord's always 2 or even sometimes 3 levels up on his opponent when it comes to the mid game, which obviously is a massive factor. One problem with this kind of combo is you're going to be getting pushed in very often. If you're into like a Sivir or a Caitlyn, they do have that range advantage. Don't be afraid to go and take a jungle camp. Do not do this if your jungler is bot side pathing out of base. Obviously full that Gromp. They see here the Skarner is like mid. The Skarner's not going to be taking that Gromp for a while. They clear it, come back in. He's got a full lever advantage at around about 4 minutes now. So when you start hitting level 3, you really want to start looking for those all-in engages with the Leona. You want your support to dictate the engage. Look for the enemy AD carry, or even if they're like in a mobile, like say they're like a Brand, a Lux support, something like that. Just look for the hard engage, guys. You're going to be very surprised how much damage this combo actually has. Like, obviously, Mord has a summoner that he can't use. But the Leona's CC and his damage, and because he gets shields, you're more often than not just going to win the trade. One thing that I've found is that, like, nobody really knows what Mord actually does. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Whenever I verse a Mord, I'm like, what the fuck is actually happening? I can't understand. He gets so many shields, he has so much damage, and it always takes me by surprise. So you can see there, they get that 1v1 off, they get all the sums and a kill. In a standard game, you're looking for those Sork Shoes on your first base, guys. The magic penetration really helps out. Also, the movement speed. Look here. It's super important with Mord because you're very short range. You want to be on top of your opponent. And this is why supports like Leona is really good because it allows them to be CC'd up so Mord can actually catch up and finally get on top. You can just see here, like, Caitlyn was full health. Boom. One rotation, she's nothing. She gets sliced like bread. Mord's damages are really, really nice in these early stages of the game. You can see Leona here use that E. Pops the Urgot down and they get the kill. Camp's there. Let's take the camp. Why not? 6 minutes in, level 6 Mord. I'm not going to be surprised if they look for the Drake here. No surprise, they're going for the Dragon. This is super key when you're playing Mordekaiser. Your aim of the game, especially in the first 10 minutes, is to get that Dragon, send it bot, and just start looking for dives and take complete lane control. Now, communication is key here. You need to tell your jungler, hey man, the Dragon is going to give us a really good win condition bot. If we make a pick, if we see an opportunity, let's look for the Dragon. Try and tell your jungler, especially if they're lower elo, they may not even like kind of know what the goal is with this strategy, or even like with Mordekaiser and the Dragon. This next couple of minutes are extremely important for you to watch if you want to try this strategy out. The way he pilots the Drake and the way he uses his ultimate is super important and allows them to get this high win rate. So you can see here, boom, that Drake gets the auto off. Guess what? Their Aerie comes out as well for a little bit of poke. The Dragon's tanking the tower, autoing the tower, they're getting this turret plating. So much gold is coming onto them. And this is what they do. They take the Dragon and they look to zone. The Caitlyn can't touch any of that experience and they have a 2-level advantage already at 7 minutes. You can see they're going to be getting even more gold. And the enemy, you kind of want to make the enemy scared. They have no idea what to do. Hey, do we go under tower? Can they dive us? Can they do this? Not many people even know what Mordekaiser damage numbers are. So they get the ultimate off from the Kate. Hey, guess what? Now we have a Caitlyn to order this tower down and keep zoning out. Obviously, you're on comms with your duo, or even if you're not, you kind of know the strategy. The enemy probably isn't. They probably don't know how to communicate. They're going to start tilting a lot when this happens, trust me. The enemy will start pinging to their jungler. Hey, come help. Kindred, help me, help me, help me. Urgot, please come down. Aurelia, come down, help us. Takes the jungle camp as well. I mean, why not? They've got that smite up. Boom. It's just disgusting to watch this, yeah? Look at how he's piloting that Caitlyn over there. He's taking the camps. He's zoning the enemy away. And all while this is happening, look at all of those CS that are dying under the tower that the enemy can't get. They can't reach this experience. So the Kindred's coming down. Leona uses that Hex Flash. All in. Boom. They get that Kindred as well. Also, the Urgot's shown up. Look how much pressure they're taking away to the bot side and just freeing up their team. Super aggro here, looking for the Mord. The Urgot, sorry. And they almost dropping down. But you can just see here, guys, like piloting your passive, also your Dragon is super important. And this type of strategy is what allows them to get such a high win rate and just forces the enemy team to get super tilted and sometimes even 15-minute FF. So you can see as they come back to lane here, he's completed his jungle item, also gone for that Soul Stealer. Now, if he didn't have enough money to get this type of buy, he just goes for that Oblivion Orb after the Sork Shoes. It's pretty situational, but now they know that they're going to dictate the lane, and if the Leona has ultimate, Mord has ult, they're just going to go boom and one-shot their enemy and just snowball the game out of control. They're going to keep going bot side, look to hard pressure in on the enemy team. You can see here, I mean, level 8, level 7 to level 6, level 5. They're going to keep drawing so much pressure. Boom, they get that all in, they're going to keep going. What is that? They also have the Caitlyn there tanking the turret. Look at that, like, you can't tell me this strategy is not strong if you know what you're doing. If you've worked everything out and how to play it, it is actually OP, taking complete control of the game. So if you're obviously these players are Chinese, they're getting these accounts really high, they've done their strategy a lot, they know exactly what to do. For you, I recommend play 2 or 3 games with your duo that you want to be doing this with in a normal game and just practice it, guys. Practice what you're going to be doing, the different scenarios. Sometimes you might not get ahead early and you've got to play it really passive, play it slow, and look to kind of scale into the mid or late game. Mord's not that hard of a champion to really master. The hardest probably bit, in my opinion, is knowing how to use the Dragon, and when you ultimate, you get those clones, how to pilot them correctly and use it as the zone control. So you can see here, 11 minutes, another Dragon spawning. Boom, they ping their jungler, hey man, Dragon spawning, let's do this. And they're just going to look to take this out themselves, I believe. I don't see why not. The Mord has ult. I mean, he has the Smite, sorry. And look just to take this down together. Then they're going to take the Drake. I wouldn't be surprised if they go mid side with the Drake here and just look to start really bringing that pressure from the bot side to the mid side. We're going to see here, moving into the mid lane with the Drake. They're probably going to look for a dive. Obviously, the game is getting snowballed out of control. And this is also, I think it's honestly mainly stemmed from them just dominating bot lane and just bringing so much pressure into the bot side. So they move in mid, taking out this tower, doing so much damage. And what can the enemy do? What can you do? Like, there's literally nothing for the enemy to come back into the game at this point. You can take Rift Herald, Drake after Drake after Drake, and you want to be tanking. You can see here, he pilots it, so the Drake's tanking the tower damage, and also getting all of his autos off. The autos do so much damage, especially like in the early stages of the game. So they're pretty much just running down mid here. I wouldn't be surprised because this is Korea. They'd probably say Korea like open mid, and they're just going to run and finish the game off. A lot of the times, I've watched a couple of their replays. If they snowball a game like this and just move mid, a lot of times in the Korean elos, they just FF. They just say mid open or they 15-minute FF, okay? Now, this is probably not going to happen in your lower elo games, so just take it nice and steady, okay? If you can't get the shove on, just go to the Rift Herald. Take the Rift Herald together, move top, go back bot lane, farm up a Storm, and just get those level advantages that you can, okay? You do not want in your lower elo games to all group mid and then all get picked. A lot of times people overstay in the lower elos and they really don't know how to close out the games. Obviously here the Mord drops the Caitlyn, has that Caitlyn clone, and then it's going to bust out and finish this game off, which is beautiful to see. So hopefully you guys can kind of find a duo partner, do this strategy, and just cause havoc in your games right now. I want to see this in solo queue games, and to be honest, like it's a pretty anti-fun strategy. Like imagine you queue up as your bot lane, you queue up as like, you know, Caitlyn or like Ezreal or something, like okay, I'm gonna play a good bot lane game. Boom, the enemy team picks Mord Leona and just runs down bot lane and destroys you. So hopefully you've learned something from this this review, guys, and hopefully you can put it into your gameplay, apply it, and gain some elo.